feeling kind of festive. Got Ross and his little brother over here.
The biggest difference between you and I is family size. TJ's family needs the Bowler Center or Bonser Coors, and I need our office.
We had a conversation a couple days ago. We were going over some stuff about like different things, and like anything that happens in a negative light in your mind is amplified times 100. And then you forget about all the things that went really good.
At that point, I thought I had literally like completely cracked this relationship because you at that point I could feel you going, you mother.
Looking back on this year, what do you think is like one of your biggest highlights? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Barndo Show Christmas edition. And feeling kind of festive. Got Ross and his little brother over here.
Right.
And so man, I just like, I'm excited. This is my favorite time of year. Like I live for this kind of stuff. Like,
I know.
Like Christmas is like the whole season for me. Like you know me, man. I love giving. I love getting around people. I love being in like this stuff. And like my family loves Christmas. It's just a fun time. Yeah.
Every festive holiday, every birthday, everything that you do in your life is enlarged. It is above and beyond. We went to a birthday party over the weekend at his house, and I was thinking, hey, not a big deal. We'll show up. I show up, and there's a goddamn carnival going on. The county fair is in his front yard. I'm not playing with you.
Bro, I love that. Like we started doing the fall, all the fall kids. It's too much. There's all the holidays going on. There's all this stuff, and they each want a party. And so like a few years ago, we decided like, hey, we'll just throw one big party for the 3 fall birthdays. And we were like, we'll try it one year and see how it goes. Like, I don't want to feel like they got robbed or whatever, but we kind of went big with it, and we did like some inflatables and, you know, had some different stuff out there. Like, and it was fun and it went really smooth. And we had pretty good turnout. So we just kept doing that year over year. And then like, it was pretty easy. The problem is they get older and then their expectations
rise. Wait, hold on. He's trying to explain chaos. Here's the deal. If you would like to come to any of his kids' birthday parties, you need to go ahead and RSVP and get your tickets.
Tickets going to sell in January.
You can get the tickets 2 months prior. You need to go ahead and buy the rides for the kids because they're going to be there with attendees operating the rides.
Well, this year it was kind of crazy, man, because like my mom's church normally throws like a falls festival, and you know she's like, hey, can you sponsor the rides or whatever? And then Hurricane Helene came through and like it threw everybody off schedule. They had to cancel their fall festival, all this different stuff, and I'm like, hey, what about those rides? And so I went and talked to the guy. We got it all worked out, and I told my wife, I'm like, well, this is either going to be an epic failure or it's going to be the greatest birthday party of all time.
It was.
And we sent these little invitations out, like said like, hey, we're having the Norris Fall Fair event. Come out and celebrate with the kids for their birthdays, and all the kids invite their own friends or whatever. And you know, so I had a parent come up to me like, my kid woke up at 6 o'clock this morning and was like, we're going to the birthday party today. It's a fair. And she said, I literally was like, we stopped and ate breakfast and was like, listen, it's probably like a fair theme. It's probably going to be like this thing. Like, I don't want you to get your hopes up. Like, I know you're excited. It's going to be fun either way, but like, don't get there and be like, why are there no rides here? She said, and literally we turned on the street and she said, my daughter stuck her head between the seats and said, I told you. and it turned out awesome. So yes, it's over the top. It is what it is. But like, for me, man, there's nothing better. Like I got 100 kids running around on my property, and like
my son got in the vehicle when we decided to shut down the party, and told me that he wanted Thunder Road at his party from Dollywood. That's what he wanted.
Well, you made that happen,
bro. Come on.
So, well, anyway, man, like we love to celebrate everything.
We know.
But like you know, Christmas is definitely like a really cool time because it's kind of like from a business perspective, It's like a time to like slow down. Things always kind of trickle down from Thanksgiving. The problem is we also have Hell Week. We could talk about that. We've talked about it before. But there's a moment there where we get to look back at kind of like the year, and we're also actively planning for the next year, because right after Christmas, we do our big annual every year. If you don't know what a Barndo annual is, it's like a retreat that we do. We started doing them 2 years ago. This will be the third one we've done.
This is TJ's birthday party for business.
This is my Super Bowl, baby.
This is his Super Bowl.
And so we started doing it 2 years ago, and this will be the third time we've done it. And, you know, the first time we went, we had like 6 employees, and now we've got 50. And we're like just always raising the bar. And so we rented out this entire like resort, and we're planning that, and that's going to be spectacular. So like that again makes this time of year so special, because it's like I get to like slow down and think about everything we accomplished in 24, but simultaneously plan what 2025 is going to be.
Right.
And it's just fun. And then the cool thing is like everybody kind of gets this like Christmas spirit of family focus, and you see a lot of people that like carry stress and they carry all this like workload all the time, and you get to see them kind of like shift into this more like inward focus. Like people are thinking about their family, they're thinking about their kids on Christmas, they're thinking about being with their spouse. Stress. And like it's just it's fun. It's a fun time, man. So like, what, looking back on this year, what do you think is like one of your biggest highlights?
So the day Olivia got all of her compensation for that first job, that was one of my biggest. It's on my desktop. That was a big deal for me. It's affirmation that we're running a company that helps people.
100%, man. And
that it's bigger than us.
What's funny is yesterday we had some friends in town from the West Coast. We're hanging out with them, and I told that story. And you know, like that moment. And then in July of this year, she had another moment like that, to where it is fun. Like for her, it's like, woo, it's a different celebration. For me, it's like we built something.
It's affirmation
where everyone wins.
Yeah.
And that is a cool, man. That's a big highlight.
Yeah, it was a big deal for me.
For me, I'm trying to mention so much. Like I love all the little things, but like from a big company perspective, I mean, we opened a ton of locations this year.
Cow.
You know, with Dunn and Knoxville, like they're fully up and running, and seeing those areas just thrive, and the right people getting into the market there, and people being able to connect with our company and like build new communities. Like we're actively building those new communities. But I would say the biggest thing for me this year, of course, was the Summer Bash, and for two reasons. One is because I absolutely love it. The second reason was that all of our partners, subs, employees,
they stepped to the plate.
They did, and in a big way. And like to see that exchange of like what was once just words on a paper has now become an identity, and to see people buy into that aren't even like inside the organization, they're just kind of partnered with the organization, and to see that kind of buy-in from people, you know, on a vision that's not like, it's just fun. We talked about this all day yesterday. Like, you know, we're not building Barndos. We're bigger than Barndo. It's bigger than Barndo. And I can look at 2024 and like look back and say, that's 100% true. This year was a year where it became bigger than Barndo. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One of the main reasons is you and I are not in the grind every day, solving every problem in the company. We have incredible people. We've been incredibly blessed to have some of the best people on the planet Earth step into this business and run departments and lead vision and champion new ideas and bring things to the table. And we get to focus on the things that are really important. And it's just way bigger. It's way bigger than what we ever thought it would be.
It is extremely large.
The company itself.
I don't really know what to say other than, because sometimes it feels like we're tooting our horn, like, hey, big, boom, boom, boom. But man, what an experience of just this year. Go back to the annual situation. We're now on our third annual. I was coming through the office Monday, and they were talking about it. And some of our new hires who have never been to one were getting briefed on the excitement of get ready.
Yeah.
Get ready. And instead of having to cultivate those conversations, our staff already does it.
Yeah.
And they're looking forward to it. Like, this is why we're here. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Well, and it creates FOMO.
Mhm.
And we don't have to do it.
Yeah.
The company does it. People are like, you don't want to miss
It's not
the
even a
annual."
requirement. You don't. If you work for us, we want you to be there.
Yeah.
But now, in this first years we did it, it was kind of like, oh, this is during Christmas time, and we may or may not be there. And now people are like, we're there.
Yeah,
we're there.
No, for sure. I don't know, man. What are you guys doing? Like, what's like for the wind down this year? Like, what's your thing you're most looking forward to with family?
The biggest difference between you and I is family size. So TJ's family needs the Bilo Center or Bon Secours, and I need our office. That's about it. So we're gonna wind down and be normal. I mean, it's just we have a Christmas Eve and a Christmas Day, but why I'm here. Like, here's the deal, guys. They told me to come in and celebrate Christmas. TJ knows what I do during Christmas. I duck hunt. I started to come in waiters today. That's the catch, man. Like, it's a way of life. So during the summertime, you love to fish, and I think you fish literally year round, but summertime's your biggest time.
Yeah.
And so, in my household, it's like Thanksgiving dinner, duck hunting the next morning. And that's always a point of contention. And then same thing with hunting.
Well, here's the thing. When he says he duck hunts, he's saying that like tongue in cheek. He does not, he's not just like, yeah, I like to duck hunt a little bit. No, it's an absolute obsession.
I'll take a sabbatical.
Like, how long is duck hunting season? Like 2
60
months?
days.
60 days. So 60 days out of 365 days, which means 305 days of the year he's in preparation of duck season. And so it's not, the 60 days is a ruse. Like, you'd be like, it's only 60 days a year. Yeah, okay, great. That just means for 60 days, 24 hours of a day is duck hunting. And the other 305 days, maybe only 8 hours a day, is focused on getting ready for duck season. And like it's so over the top. Like, wow, if you're a duck hunter, you get it, right? And like I get it because I know. And like the whole thing has been for 3 years that we've been running this company and the years that we've been friends, he's begged me to come. How many times have I been duck hunting with you? None. And how many times do I plan on going? None. And the reason behind that is I also am obsessive. And I know that if we go together, I'm going to be doing the same stuff. And I look at it and I'm like, this is fiscally irresponsible.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't get involved with this because like it is insanity. The stuff that you guys do. And like, and there's guys in the company, there's other like subcontractors in the company that hunt with you. And like, I just watch like y'all talking back and forth and the stuff that y'all do. And I'm like, there's no way. I can't get involved with this. Like, it is an absolute.
It's extreme.
No, I joke all the time. Like, if you want to get started in duck hunting, you just save up $250,000 and you can buy a starter pack. It's
cheap, bro.
And but no, it's fun. Like you literally love it though. Like that it's fun for me because like that 60-day run of time is the best version of Ross all the time.
They always give me trouble because. I hope my wife doesn't watch this. Jesse, if you're watching this, don't kill me. I have packages sent to our office. And we're constantly getting packages for like materials and things like that. And then the closer we get to the season, our poor Lexi in the front of the office is getting package after package after package after package of duck stuff. And she's like, you see that big giant pile right there? That's yours. Can you get it out of my office? And so it's become a little bit, I don't know, hostile.
Yeah.
But, I'm sorry. Right, here's the deal. We were meeting with people yesterday. Super good guys. And this came up. And this is like one of the greatest milestones in our lives, I think. And it broke my heart to do that to you. I think it was it was either year one or almost in the year.
It was the very beginning.
Yeah,
it was like the book of Genesis of the Barndo Co.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You had a giant meeting with somebody that morning. I don't even remember who it was with. Something happened that evening and there was a cold front that turned, and I blistered out. I left from South Carolina and headed straight to Arkansas, 9.5 hour drive. I did not think about the next day because I was thinking, make it to Arkansas before the next morning to be in a boat to start smacking down ducks. And daybreak came, and my phone rang. And I looked down at my phone, and I was like, oh, God. Oh, God. And I had to tell everybody that was hunting with me, stop blowing the calls. I've got to talk my partner off the cliff right now. And so I answered the phone, and you were like, how far out are you? And I'm like, pretty good ways. Pretty good ways. He's like, well, how soon you going to be here? I'm like, 9.5 hours away, brother. I'm in Arkansas. And you literally were like, I got to go.
Yeah.
I got to go right now. And at that point, I thought I had literally like completely cracked this relationship, because at that point I could feel you going, you mother.
Well, look, here's the thing. We had just started the business together. We had just got into this thing. Like, you talk about duck hunting, whatever. And so that morning I was meeting with a guy who was an investor who had like 5 lots of land. He wanted to build 5 barndominiums, and he was wanting to do all this stuff. And you got to think, in infancy mode, 5 barns
was a big deal for us.
Big deal. That's a year's worth back then, bro. Like, we were like, let's do this. Like, I'm so excited. And then you were not there. And so, but the cool thing about that was
you closed him.
Yeah, no, yeah, we made it through. It was fine. But the cool thing about it was, and it sounds weird, but like, if you're going to be in business, like, I'm going to take a minute to talk about this, because if you're going to be in business with somebody and you're going to go into a partnership, everybody in the world talks about how partnerships don't last, and everybody gets screwed over by the other person, and yada, yada, yada. Like, I mean, literally, that's all you ever hear. And we've had some tremendous success here, to the point to where I would be willing to risk it all to say there's no way I could have done it by myself. And I know that you feel the same way.
That's right.
We talk about it all the time. If you're going to do it, the first step is humility, right? Is to say, all right, why, like, that could piss somebody off, and then it becomes egotistical. Well, then I have to look at it and say, well, whose job is it to go find people to build barns? Mine. Whose job is it then to go and build the barn? Yours. So if you look at the meeting that day, you didn't need to be there.
Right.
We wanted to be there because it was new, and like, you know, but like that was the conversation I had with myself. I was like, he didn't need to be here. And then secondly is like, this is his Super Bowl. And so in my brain from that meeting, I said, I'll never ask Ross to be in a meeting during duck season ever again. Because if I know that that's what's going on, I can set a proper expectation for myself. It doesn't matter how important it is. It doesn't matter if it's a company Christmas party, right? If Ross is going duck hunting, Ross is going duck hunting. And so, like, it's one of those things.
I'm sorry.
Like, you don't need to be sorry. That's what you do. That is what you do. So, like, again, like, people make big deals out of things that don't need to be big deals. Like, it's fine. There's 60 days a year to where it's just not, it's like, for me, it's the least selfish thing you can do to say, well, you should really be there. Why? There's no need. There's no need that you should sacrifice something that you love doing to be here, because there's like some kind of standard, an invisible standard that people create. And like, that for me was a big moment to where I said, like, cool. And I just let it roll. And I think people get so hung up on that. We talk about the Pareto principle all the time, right? 80-20, 80-20, 80-20. That is in my 20. I know that's not going to happen. And I put no expectations on it. Like, there is absolutely zero expectations on that whatsoever. The cool thing is the annual falls during duck season as well, and you always come. So it's like, there is some give and take there. Like, there's things that
you have to be reasonable
that like, create priority. Yeah. But like, at the end of the day, it'd be just like if you had a really important meeting between the last week of May and the first week of July. Sorry, bro. I know. I'm not going to be there. I know. And we've given each other that space. And that's another reason why I'm never going duck hunting, right? Like, you get those 60 days, and I take mine in the summer.
The cool thing is that with partnerships, it's a marriage. It is an absolute marriage that I would venture to say it's not intimate, and intimate's the wrong word. It's more, I know it sounded weird.
It is that weird. Go ahead.
But it's the same situation. There's things that you and I know about each other that our wives will never know. It is best friend on steroids.
Yeah.
And you have to. I was talking to the guys yesterday while you were missing your exit. I sat in a restaurant yesterday with some really good dudes that I had to pedal some conversation for a while because I was like, where's this dude?
I was driving circles around Spark.
We drove back from the same location, and I was there for 20 minutes with these people, and I'm not a conversationist. So, going back to that though, is it's if you're going to be in a relationship or a partnership with someone that your livelihood, everything that you have, you're betting on it. You have to trust is the biggest thing. So that first of all, and then secondly, hit your wave. If you're a partner, hit your wagon to someone that's smarter than you. There's times when you've talked about it, like, hey man, if you go somewhere, please take me with you. And I would hope you felt the same way. Mm-hmm. There's times where you have coached me. One of the very first things, whenever me and you first got together, you were like, you've got to bury your ego. There are people out here that build bigger than us, better than us. And that was in the moment we had that conversation, I took it and was like you no more. But that was the greatest thing you could have ever said to me.
Yeah.
Because it reset the way I think. That when we sit down with someone that does have more experience and we know that and you respect that, you learn. Mm-hmm. You learn.
Yeah, it changes the
I
frame.
learned those things from you, and I learned those things from people that sat down, and it has extremely shortened the time span of our business to be infancy to super successful.
Yeah.
Whereas if you wouldn't have said that, we would still be like, I don't like that guy. He thinks he's better than us. And it's not. It wasn't that way. It was my own, not ego, but I was unsure. What do you call it? I don't know. Jenna, what do you call that when a man is, what the crap am I trying to come up with? I'm lost for the words.
This is why we need AI.
I know. Chat GPT, where you at, bro? Insecure. Insecure.
Okay.
You're insecure because that's your prime emotion of I know that I'm not adequate, and you feel insecure, and your ego comes out, and you're like, I am.
Yeah.
And you had to coach that out of me.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, like, here's the thing: is insecurity is something that's just born into you over the course of time. Through your foundational years as a kid, whatever, something happens and you become insecure about something. And then unchecked, it shows up in different arenas, and it shows up in different environments, and it shows up in different situations. And then like your ability to handle stress or handle that environment is completely limited. And you literally become that child version of yourself in that moment. And the thing is, now you're inside this big man body. So it's like, I can be big and strong and I can do these things. But like when you realize that it doesn't really matter. Like there is no, that you don't need my validation. You don't need the business's validation. You don't need the validation of clients. You don't need the validation of other people. When you know who you are and what you're doing and why you're doing it, the rest of that's just noise.
It just falls in.
And man, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. Like if you, I can tell you this right now. We had a conversation a couple days ago, and we were going over some stuff about like different things. And like anything that happens in a negative light in your mind is amplified times 100. And then you forget about all the things that went really good, and you forget about all those things. And like people see this as like a highlight reel. But if you think for a moment, man, like it's funny to me now. Like there was a time where like you'd post something and somebody would say something and you'd feel the urge to like dive into the comments and go into these like social media wars. And like, I just laugh at it now because I'm like, I don't have time. I don't even read them. I don't read comments on posts. I don't read comments online. Like it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter because I don't care. I don't care enough about their perception because I know what I'm doing, and I know what the company stands for, and I know what our level of service is to our clients, and I know all the success stories. And so to go through life thinking there will never be a negative circumstance, or that there will never be a way that I let someone down, or there will never be a way that I upset somebody is absolutely asinine. And so you just put your ego in check. And like, we've done a really good job of that. And it's like give and take. There's things that I've done that have frilled you up and pissed you off. And, you know, it's 11 o'clock at night and I see my phone light up and it's you and you're like, hey, mofo, we're going to talk about something. And then we kind of talk through it. But the thing is, if you didn't have that conversation, you'd carried it on.
Right.
And it would have just festered and grew and grew and grew and grew. And we built a foundation at the very beginning to where we looked at each other and said, like,
above all,
we will never lie again. Because I know when you are, and you know when I am, and so let's just make it easy on ourselves. Yeah. And we live by that code, and it's just a fun thing, man. But
you have to be all in, all feet. Like I'm in that blue collar millionaire group, so there's a bunch of people on there asking for advice. So what do I do this? What do I do that? And man, the amount of hate. I was shocked just reading some of the feeds and those things where other builders, these are kids, man. They're 20, 23-year-old, 22-year-old builders. They're trying to build. And I remember a day when we were trying to build and people out of the goodness of their heart sat down and helped us.
And there were also a multitude who didn't give us the time of day.
That's right. And the catch is this, is that, you know, I was talking to my dad the other day about a situation in another company. It is, and we're not even that old. You're 38, I'm 37.
Yep.
But it is our legacy and our duty. It is your requirement as a man to teach the next generation. And I know it may be premature to say, we're 38 years old and we know everything. We don't know it. We learn things every day.
Yeah, but the difference is we're also reaching up.
That's right.
There are men and women in our lives that are teaching us. And so when if we want to look down and help pull guys up, we also, like, there's two hands, right? I got one reaching down, I got one reaching up. Like, you have to be in that cycle.
Right.
And so I agree with you. Like, we give away more advice in conversation than most people, than people charge. People charge.
And I had feelings about that. Like in the beginning, you pioneered that out of me, where there was things that you would tell people and I'm like, why are you telling people that? That's our stuff. And then it brought dividends back. Maybe not money wise, but the relationships that made then and now are extremely valuable. All because you took a minute to say, I'll help you.
Yeah.
But you got to listen.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't. If they listen and they do something with it, that's on them. But the biggest thing is this: the world is big. There's an abundance, and if you have an abundance mentality, you don't operate in scarcity. And like, I have no fear of that whatsoever. None whatsoever. You know how many builders have flown into the upstate, came and spent time with us, sat down at our table, went around, and I set up a whole day, and they go in and interview our project managers and our leadership team, and they go and look at our sales things, and they sit down and they look through our marketing plans, and they look at the software we run, and they look at the map and how we do everything. And then they get everything. We give that away, and then it's up to them to go back and do something with it. And I don't care, because like, I believe so much that you can't do it in a way that's going to take away from me.
So here's the only thing, is that the one thing that makes us super special is the one thing we can't teach. And it's your French word. I always try to replicate it, and I tried to put it in ChatGPT the other day, and I was like, what the crap is it? What was it?
Je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi. Have you hired Je ne sais quoi? The deal is this, is that we can teach and teach and teach and help people and take advice, but there's something special. There's a little piece of magic that happens in our company that no one can explain.
Well, I think I can explain it. It's the same reason we help people outside the organization, is we want everyone to win.
Yeah.
And when you put an environment together where my goal is to see you win, you will help me win. And you create something that's, I don't know what, because that's just uncommon. It's uncommon. Which, again, you look at Christmas, man. Like, one thing that's really important to us is, like, at Christmas time, we're giving out Christmas bonuses.
Oh.
We're thinking about all these different things that we can do, and it's fun for us, to where I think a lot of people would freeze up, because again, you're living in the scarcity. And for us, it's always about how can we continue to pour into and bless and give away and share the success and do those things with the people inside of our company. And it's fun. Giving is fun. And when you make it a priority the way we do, Like, we're anticipating it. We start talking in July about Christmas bonuses and putting the plan in place to make sure that they're there so that when we get to December, we can enjoy the spirit of generosity and giving and doing those things. And then, like, you just get to see it, like, roll up. And I'll be honest with you, bro, like, all the stuff that we deal with, all the things that goes on, is not, the gifts doesn't matter. The gift, that doesn't matter to me. It's the fact that we built a way that we are sitting on Christmas with our families, absolutely unbothered by things around us. And we didn't just build it on the backs of others. We actually put the parameters in there to where that week, our people are home with their families.
Right.
And they're not thinking about those things. And we built it as a priority for the people in this company to reap the rewards of things that being in a life of working with other people and working in companies and working around the holidays, like, you know what it's like. It's a grind. In the beginning, it was a grind. We shared at the first episode or the second episode of this podcast, you and I talked about Christmas Eve. We're sitting at a job site in Taylor's. We're waist deep in a septic tank trying to figure out where a leak was coming. We get a phone call. There's cows eating insulation in another house, and there's dead cows on the road. There's all these things. Like, it went crazy. People went absolutely crazy.
It was freezing. Ice was out.
Take that to today. It's insanity. It's insanity. It like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not diminishing the fact that this is still hell week, right? From the week prior to Thanksgiving to the end of the year, all hell comes loose with homeowners because everybody's under the stress of
trying to get in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the guys that were mentoring us yesterday, and they were talking about some other things, but he mentioned one thing. It was golden handcuffs.
Yep.
He said that. I understood the analogy he was using, but that touched me a little bit to where I could go. I was talking to Heath and Jennifer, I mean, basically all of the sub leadership and production yesterday. And as a company, the successfulness of your business and the organic community that you have inside of it is dependent on you having golden handcuffs to be able to walk in and say, you're one of us. Here's a set of handcuffs. And if they'll put them on, they're in.
Yeah.
They're in. But it has to be a heart thing. They have to feel it.
Yep.
It can't just be a job. They have to want to be there.
Yep.
And I'll be honest with you. That's what makes me want to be at Barndo.
100%.
Because it's not, we build houses. Yes. We build Barndos. Yes. But we build community and we build people better.
100%.
We're very good at that.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun.
It is. It does make it fun. That's what the whole thing is about, man. So, like, snapshot, man, looking back at 2024, there's so much stuff that we could celebrate. We could celebrate so many things. We could celebrate the fact that we set goals and we hit them, and we started this year off saying we were going to be better than ever. And then look at the journey of the last 12 months and what's happened and the things that have happened and the leadership that's in place and the offices that have opened and the processes that have improved and the things we've walked away from to make more room for the things that we need to be focused on. Look at the things that we like. There's been so much stuff to where I can confidently say we're better than ever.
Absolutely.
And looking forward to next year to what we're going to champion and what we're going to be. And like, that is the most rewarding thing as a leader in an organization, is to set a plan and set a vision and then go execute it. And the people in our organization see it being executed.
Right.
And then they're just as bought in, because it's not just a promise, not an empty promise, it's not words on a page. They see the work.
Well, I mean, it's like so we had a meeting yesterday with some guys that have known us since the beginning. And I felt really good about the people that knew us from day one.
Yeah.
These are mentors in our lives where they were going, good job.
Yeah.
Very good job. The affirmation of them, of those pillars in our past, coming back to today and going, you did it. You did it. You followed directions. You completed the task. You have created exactly what we tried to get you to create organically.
Yeah.
That was great. I mean, that was the same thing of them pouring into us and then us pouring into someone else. It was a great situation. When Brian said that, I was like, man, You want me to buy you dinner? You want to take me home?
No, it's a big moment, man. So it's a really big moment. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pumped, man. Like this time of year, here's the thing. And I like today, people are thinking about Christmas 5 days away.
Mm-hmm.
And they're some people are in their Barndo for the first time for Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's got to be a
Danny said something about
super surreal feeling of they did it. Like, and we got to play a part in that. Like, they did it. And like, it's a time for everybody. I mean, people get to reflect on that. And then there's other people who are starting this journey that'll be in there by next Christmas. And it's just a fun time for me, man. It's like and then some people get stuck in the middle, right? But the thing is like, it's a fun time because the barn is just a cool thing. But the barn is a host to the family inside. Mm-hmm. And that family, man, is like able to gather together and have this Christmas and do these things inside that home. And that's what I say is bigger than Barndo, man. It's bigger than Barndo. Those people started out with a dream. They started out with this idea. They went through this process. It's not an easy process. They struggled. They had wins. They had losses. They had ups and downs. They made it through, but they did it. And we got to play a part in that. And for me, that's the greatest thing that I can experience on Christmas is the text messages I will get through the Christmas season of all these different homeowners and like posts on social media about like first Christmas in our barn. It is a time where people go, it was worth it. It was worth it. And for me, man, that's the biggest thing that I can celebrate is like seeing all those victories. And we played a role in every single one of those things. And for me, that is the ultimate gift of seeing someone's hard work, dreams, and everything just culminate into this moment. And that's what they were doing it for the whole time.
Building bigger dreams.
Building bigger dreams, baby.
That's what it's going to be.
All right, bro. Well, as far as I know, we could wrap this thing up. Is there anything else you want to hit before we dive off of our Christmas episode celebrating?
What you thinking, Jenna? We're good?
They're just like, hurry up and shut up, guys. They hate giving us the microphone.
We need to have like a cameo camera pointed at her so we can be like, hey, what you thinking? I don't know.
Well, anyway, bro, you and your brother did a good job. He didn't say much, but I appreciate getting to hang out and do this stuff, man. What a great year 2024 has been, and I'm super pumped about 2025, and I'm super pumped about everything that's coming, but I'm very proud today of everything that's happened.
I'm proud of everything. Yeah. It's been a great year. Guys, thank you.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the Barndo Show podcast. If you're watching on YouTube or wherever you're listening to this content, hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And then be sure to check us out on all of our social media platforms at the Barndo Co. Super simple to find us. And then when you're ready to dive in a little more, maybe look around some of our available floor plan options or take a look at the gallery of our work, or maybe you're ready to connect with our team and explore what it looks like to build your dream barndominium, you can visit us online at thebarndoco.com.